You've just landed on the best channel ever built. The polls right now on these videos, you know, they're showing 50% this, but you know, I'd say more like 80. Most people think they're 80. So we're gonna go with 80. It's just unbelievable. These videos are the best of all times. Most folks say there's none better. We are making this homestead great. At the end of last week's video, you seen me start to tear this chimney down. So I got it all tore apart, cleaned everything out all the way down to the wood stove, got all that cleaned up. I added 2 foot of length to this to get better draft, and I didn't have any braces once I got it up that high, so I put these 3 wires on it just to hold it there for the week until I got in the proper brace for it. So I'm gonna put that on today, and one of these days when we get around to it, I'm thinking of taking even this brace off and building a frame up around that and putting some stonework around it. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and get these installed, and that way we got some 25, 26 degree nights coming up here real soon, and hopefully we'll be able to fire this thing up and use it. Just to show everyone a little closer look at this brace system I bought for this chimney. It came with a piece of flat steel with a hole drilled in it here with the angles bent on it so you can clamp it around your pipe. And then it's got a couple little wings on there to bolt your brace to on each side. So basically you just wrap that around the pipe and get it set where you want it, and then you fasten these brace poles, run them down to your roof where you're gonna fasten them up. And on mine, I've just got stringers underneath this tin to fasten it to, so it's not fully sheeted, you know, there's not wood everywhere. But I've got 2x6s under here, so I kind of felt around to find where the 2x6 was, and then marked where I try to keep this bracket in the wood the best I can. And I'll put some silicone underneath and then around the edges of it after I get ready to start fastening it down. And then this bracket here just comes over and bolts to this like that. You know, so kind of looks something like that when it's all put together. And that'll run up and go into there. And these poles slide together so it's adjustable, so you can make sure your chimney's straight up and down. You can take and slide this. There's 2 rods, you know, you can slide one inside the other to get it to go longer or shorter. And the directions, they don't clarify a whole lot on there, but I put the littler pipe down here toward the roof, because if I flipped it around and had the big pipe on the roof, the water could go in there and run down in your pipe and eventually rust that pipe out. And this way the water is always going to be running away. It's not going to get inside this pipe. But I think you could go to the hardware store and buy a couple different sizes of conduit, you know, and flatten the end out on one with a hammer and drill some holes in it, and buy you a little flat piece of steel or any kind of a clamp and build this yourself. But I thought about doing that, and then I was in a hurry to get it done. Didn't take the time to go gather all that stuff up and make my own, so I just got online and bought this. And not even sure which one I picked out. Now there's several of them on there, but this one said on there that it fit the Duravent pipe that I got, so I just ordered it for that reason, because it was specifying that it fit this pipe. But I can have my wife put a link in the description below there if you want to get online and get a bracket like this if you need one, or like I said, you could probably just go to the hardware store and buy you some conduit and bolts and build your own. It's pretty simple, but anyway, just a little closer look at it. Got that bracket there all put in place, and this is how I went about that. I took this silicone here made from metal, and I just put a coat of it all over the back side of my bracket here. And I marked this one out the same way I did on the other side. And I just kind of line up the dots that I made on the thing with the bracket and stick it down there. Once I got it in place there, I'll run my screws in it. Now I'll squirt some of the silicone up around the edges, and I probably wouldn't even have to put any more around the outside, but I did on this one anyway. Well, there it is, all finished. The only thing with this kit that they didn't send was whatever you're gonna fasten those plates right there to the roof with. You'll have to figure that out on your own. But other than that, everything was with the kit. And they did send a few extra bolts just in case, you know, you drop them off the roof or something. You don't have to climb down and get it as long as you only drop one.